Welcome into another episode of Rail Talk. Rotor fans, let me talk to you. Coming to you from the Classic Club here at Top La Moderna Field. And our visit this week, I want to, before I introduce him, I want to set the stage with something here. A lot of folks had mentioned over the first 4 episodes, hey, you've only been talking to hitters. Where's the love for the pitchers? Well, first off, there's a ton of love for the pitchers. Second off, the schedule was very intentional. More on that later. But if I'm going to start with the pitcher, I'm starting with my main man, Aaron Mishoulam. Mish, welcome, man. We enjoy having you today. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited.
You are the epitome to me. Or let me rephrase. Your story to me is the epitome of what independent baseball is all about. And what I mean by that, you came here last August, came from Milwaukee, probably came into a situation here a year ago where you weren't quite sure what your role was going to be, if you were going to last, if you were going to stick in terms of being here. We fast forward 1 year. And I said something on the broadcast a couple nights ago, and I don't know if you're privy to this, but I'm going to share it here for those that might not have listened. And I'm going to stand behind what I'm going to say here. I'm not a manager. I'm not Pete Incaviglia. But if I was, and we're going into a playoff series, you're the man I'm giving the baseball to in game 1. Coming from a place a year ago when you got here in August to not knowing if you were going to be here or stick here, to now hearing someone say, hey, we got the confidence in you that game 1, here's the ball, go get us a win. How does that make you feel?
Truly blessed. I will say that. It's been a wild ride. I think you hit the nail on the head just over the course of 1 year. Coming into a whole new locker room after being released from another team in this league, it could kind of shake your confidence if you let it. But no, really I owe all the credit to Pete for giving me the opportunity in the first place after getting released, and then just to bring me back, and then just basically let me prove it and work my way out of the bullpen to being a starter. And it means the world for you to say that you have that confidence in me, and I just want to take it and run with it.
Yeah, it's funny because early on, even in this year, in the 2026 season, coming out of spring training, a large group of really talented pitchers. And I think there were tough decisions for Pete, for Carter Linton, the pitching coach, to try to figure out just what the lay of the land was with this staff. And not that there were any right or wrong answers, but just with a big room of really good arms, trying to figure out what that would look like. What that looked like for you early on is you were kind of the bridge guy, the long guy out of the bullpen. But it didn't take long to see, after 3, 4, 5 outings of that, of you just putting up zeros, it's time to put Mish in a little bit loftier of a spot than this. So then you turn into the rotation, and you've had success there. The ERA's hovering right around 3. You lead the team in wins. But what I think is funny is I think one of the characteristics that makes you as successful as you have been, and I go back to even last year and the few outings that you had with Cleburne late, and now fast forwarding into this year, is if you were to put the camera on you, have no scoreboard up there, show no result of a pitch or an at-bat in terms of what the batter does or doesn't do, I'm not sure fans would know whether we were winning or whether we were losing. And what I mean by that is you were so even-keeled. I want to go back to your last start. 2-run home run in the 4th. And I mean, you've only given up 3 home runs all year, so it's not like you've given up a lot. But I have always been very intentional in moments that haven't gone your way to lock my eyes on you because I want to see your body language. I want to see how you react. The home run the other night, ball gets hit, and you immediately turn, and I saw you stick your glove up, and you just wanted another baseball. Like, let's go. I want to go right back to work right now. Give me the next pitch. Give me the next batter. Let's go. Where does that mentality come from?
Yeah, I would have to give credit to my head coach at Emory, Coach Twardowski. He, as a freshman, was definitely just big on fixing your body language. I would say I didn't always have that ability as a young kid, as a lot of young kids probably don't have that. But yeah, just from the get-go, he's like, I don't care what the situation is, like, just try to give it your all, be your best. And I think if you were reading my mind, that would probably not be the case after a home run like that. I was definitely really upset and pissed off, but it's just kind of like a matter of, like, are you gonna use it to fuel you up? And I feel like that's something you got to do, and if not, like, it's just gonna always get worse. So yeah, if you took a pulse check on me, I was definitely more fired up and upset, and I think the next couple bullets that I threw were a lot more intent behind it. So
now let's talk about moments that have gone your way, because I'm also very intentional in those moments to watch you for that body language. And you have had me wanting to, I've been so fired up in your great moments that I've been ready to jump through the window. I'm so fired up. And I'll watch you and you're almost in a comatose state. Like there's not too many big highs. However, I'll watch you in the dugout. I've seen you in the dugout before when some of your teammates, your pitchers, have big moments and you're fist pumping and you're going nuts with the rest of them. What makes you do that for your teammates, yet you don't display that type of body language for yourself?
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, just the support for the teammates, just I think that means everything for being a part of a team, and you're fired up for everybody and you want everybody to do well. And then on the flip side, I don't know if this is the best way to be, but I feel like the more I show out there, like emotion-wise, too high, too low, like you don't want to show anybody up and just kind of want to stay on yourself. Yeah. So that type of thing. But in the dugout, I feel like that's the best time to let loose, especially if you're not pitching that day. Like, have fun, enjoy it, because like there's been some crazy moments, especially over the last couple of games. It's been fun.
Now let's talk about some of those moments. I think it wouldn't matter which of the 24 of you I would ask. I think you would all tell me the same thing if I asked you about this team's start. It certainly wasn't ideal. 0-4 out of the gate. Not that you ever lost any faith in yourself. Things just didn't go our way out of the gate. But you guys never lost confidence. You certainly never lost sight of the end goal. Now you look at this very same team, 23-12 over your last 35 games, playing as good a baseball, in fact, playing better baseball than anyone in the American Association. And it's shown in the ranks, climbing the ranks in the East Division, climbing the ranks, 3.5 out. Entering play today, just a game and a half back of Lake Country now. Can you pinpoint a moment, or was there a time where you guys collectively have felt like, okay, we've turned this thing around?
Yeah, I don't know if there's been a moment for me that sticks out like right off the jump, but more so just like if you were to ask me in spring training, just like top to bottom, like the talent. And just more so like the resumes and more so just everybody's experience level. Just, I think that's what really speaks volumes to me. Like, there's never been a moment, even those games that we lost, like when we started 0-4, like I think it's in the back of everybody's head, like, oh, like this is not good. But everybody, I think, just showed up, like no matter what, like it was a new day and very professional. So maybe if thinking about it now, there's a moment, after that big win streak that we went on, what was it, like 8 games in a row and 12-13, like there were some games that we probably shouldn't have won that we won where the baseball gods were on our side. So definitely somewhere along that stretch is when it was like, okay, like we're really picking up some steam. Like before that, I don't think we were even playing like our best baseball, and our record was still kind of middle of the pack, still in a playoff race. And like now that we're finally getting some good momentum and things are going our way, it's like, wow, like we're just kind of scratching the surface now too.
I've always been a broadcaster that I'm always going to be supportive of my team, but I'm also going to paint realistic pictures. I've never been one to pretend to be something that we're not. I, for one, was very frustrated that first week in the Fargo series. It seemed like everything that could go wrong would go wrong. And it's not that I've ever been critical of a player or a situation, but there's no one outside of yourselves that wants you to win more than I do. Been here since day one. I love that. I bleed this organization. And anybody that knows me knows that. I take a lot of pride in the fact of guys like you having the success and not having it handed to you. You weren't brought in here saying, hey, Mish, you're going to be our number one starter. You're getting the ball on opening day. Let's just lay it up here on the silver platter for you. It was far from that. It was go out there and show us you're good enough to be on this team. You've done that. And now when you look at this pitching staff in totality as a whole, one of the things I take great pride in is there's not a single arm on our staff that doesn't contribute in some way or play a pivotal role in some way. Look over the course of the past 3 to 4 weeks. We shifted to the 6-man rotation since the addition of Dakota Chalmers. Luke Short, Dakota Chalmers, Ben Hampton have all had their moments to shine and come up big in big starts. But if we're being realistic, I think it's yourself, John Baker, and Scott Ellis that as of late have been the three at the forefront putting together consistent great starts. I would put in a 3-game series as we start to march towards the playoffs, I would put the three of you up against any other trio of starters in this league, regardless of which team we would be facing in the Eastern Division. So now I want to ask you, if that were the case, let's just say theoretically it was a you, John Baker, Scott Ellis. Is there an order in those three that makes us the most successful, or do you have the confidence of, hey, you could put those three names in the bag and just pick it and hand us the ball and we'll go out there and get it done?
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's just one of those things where I've always been a player where you tell me what to do, I'm going to do it, and I don't think it makes a huge difference just with the way the roster is constructed and our lineup especially. You know, I've got confidence in those two as well as everybody else on the staff, and I certainly have a lot of confidence in myself too. So it's one of those things where we're going to go out and get it done.
You've had a sub-2 ERA on the road. Your road starts have been as good as, not just on this team, any pitcher in the American Association. Is there something to that? And I don't mean to be critical of pitching here and the benefits or the disadvantages of that. I'm just saying, being in the different spots that you've been in on the road and finding success in every one of those places, is there something to that?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't given it a lot of thought, but it sometimes gets a little hot here.
Yeah.
That's really what comes to mind first. But
you pitched well here too, though. I mean,
no doubt. I would say just getting to play closer to home is definitely something that comes to mind too. Like being from Chicago, getting to play Chicago Dogs is fun. Getting a lot of family and friends out for that, and then, you know, just when the road trips do get long, I feel like I just try to use it to my advantage and just like, oh, it's maybe one of the last games of the road trip, or we've got a break coming up, or we just traveled. Like, I'm just trying to use it in the back of my head, like, okay, maybe some guys on the other team don't want to be out there, even though that's not the case. I'm sure everybody wants to, but it's just kind of one of those things to psych yourself up.
It's important for me on these episodes of Rail Talk for our fans to be able to know our players, not just for what they can do on the field, but kind of who they are away from it. You talked about home. I want to go back to your pre-professional baseball days. In fact, let's go back to your time in East Lansing with Michigan State. Talk about that big school, walking in there the first day, knowing you're playing big-time college baseball. I mean, anybody that knows anything about college sports, you can pick the sport. Everybody knows about Michigan State and who the Spartans are. Take us through your experiences and your time there.
Yeah, so I came into Michigan State as a 22-year-old grad transfer, so I definitely felt like I was coming in as an older guy, even though they were bringing in a lot of new players, new faces. But just coming from Emory and what a blast I had there. And, I think my time there shaped me into the player and human I am today. But yeah, getting the opportunity to pitch at a school like Michigan State is just truly an honor. But, I was excited from the get-go, but also it was one of those situations where, being a D3 transfer, I felt like I had to prove myself from the absolute first day on campus, and I kind of kept that chip on my shoulder the whole season. And I started the first 2 weekend series and then kind of got shifted to the bullpen, and then shifted back to being a midweek, and then shifted back to being a closer, late inning guy, and just kind of doing whatever the team needed. But it was a lot of fun. It was a blast getting to, 1, play closer to home, 2, play in the Big Ten, and just that competition level was a lot of fun.
What was the biggest college adjustment? You spoke of your time at Emory, and really that's where you were crafted as a player. But from the college environment, what was the biggest difference coming from a Division III school like Emory to being on a big campus in East Lansing?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just, though the coaches and players are there for you, it's one of those situations where you just got to be your biggest supporter. And if you don't have that belief, that positive self-talk, and all of those things that, kind of sound cliche to an outsider, just it's hard, especially when things aren't going your way. Just if it's one weekend series that you feel like, oh, I got to wait until next weekend to prove it. And, if you're an outsider looking in and not really getting all the innings that you want, it's just, you got to be ready if your name's called 12, 14 days later after you haven't pitched in a while. So you just got to really just keep on pumping yourself up. And it's just one of those things that you need that belief.
We're visiting here with Aaron Mishoulam on the latest episode of Rail Talk. Railroader fans, I often tell people that don't know a lot about this team, from a geographic standpoint, we're just far enough south of Fort Worth that the Railroaders they're a big deal in our town, and our fan base loves to support you guys. And they're often, you guys often, especially in a small town like Cleburne, you're larger than life characters here, whether you're here at the field or you can be down the road having dinner one night, and you can be recognized, be approached by fans, what have you. This clubhouse is a very unique one in terms of there are a lot of different personalities in there. If you were telling our fans about just describing the personalities of some of your different teammates in the clubhouse, without going into names, just collectively as a whole, how would you describe that clubhouse as one unit?
I'd say it's a mixed bag for sure, but we've got just a great group. I would say it's a whole lot of fun coming to work every day, getting to say that's your job, and just really getting to experience some guys who have played all the way at the highest level of baseball, and guys just like myself who have just played independent baseball. It's a whole lot of fun, and there's a lot of different characters for sure.
Let's talk about some of those characters. I sat down with Cody Thomas earlier in the year, and I set several scenarios up for Cody to where I would ask him a situation he could pick one teammate, and you could never pick the same teammate twice. I asked him, once his baseball days were over, if he was going to go into the business world and try to compete, say, for a Fortune 500 job. And he had to rely on one teammate to sell him. If he couldn't sell himself, if they were going to interview someone else that was going to speak on behalf of Cody Thomas, he said, no doubt in his mind, he's going to Mish. Mish is the guy. He looked at you as one of those that can really, that's a good speaker, that can really draw out the good qualities in someone else. Are you surprised to hear that about yourself?
I think I might be a little bit surprised to hear that from him, but I appreciate it nonetheless. If I were to pick someone for that same exact question, I think I would pick Chalmers, Dakota Chalmers.
Dakota Chalmers. Yeah. Why would you go to Dakota?
He's got that way about him, just speaking life into whatever it is. I think he's got that positive energy, and he sees things that I don't think everybody else sees, and he's just a positive, upbeat guy. So I think that goes a very long way.
I do have some questions for you, but before I do, I want to call out one of your other teammates. A lot of times, for a pitcher to be successful, they've got to have a certain relationship and a certain trust with their catcher. Angel Mendoza has busted his hump throughout this year to kind of take that starting job. And with all due respect, Oscar, who was fantastic here, Angel just kind of his success, he kind of put himself in a position to be undeniable, to be on that lineup card every day. I've heard other pitchers talk about their relationships with Angel and how much they appreciate him. Kind of take us on the inside of the relationship that you have with Angel, and maybe some things you guys might do through a start or laughs you might have to try to ease situations.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into this season, I actually had a few mutuals with Angel who on social media were telling me, like, you're going to love throwing to this guy, and just a lot of positive things. And then over the course of the season, like you said, I don't think I have thrown to a catcher who I have known in the back of my head has my back, and just that level of trust. And whether it's from a physical perspective of just like all the attributes he has on the field, great framer, absolute cannon for an arm, throwing guys out, but just from that mental standpoint of just knowing, like, this guy is tougher than all hell. Like, he is gonna fight for you no matter what. And then also, if you pull the curtains back a little bit, like, he has got a great positive attitude. He's funny, just for how, like, not super serious I am, but like maybe serious it comes off, and stoic. He is making me laugh in the bullpen before the games, keeping things light, just hyping me up in all the ways that, all the ways that you'd want as a pitcher. I could go on and on about it, but it's been an absolute blessing to be able to throw to him.
Certainly fun to watch. Okay, we're going to wrap this up with me asking you some rapid fire questions. I'm going to create some scenarios, and you fire off the first teammate that comes to your head, okay? All right, situation number one. Baseball season's over, man. This team's won the Miles Wolf Cup. Treacherous run, but you got it done. You've hoisted the trophy. You're a champion. You're ready to go take a vacation. You're ready to get away from baseball for a little bit. Take a week to kind of disconnect and kind of recharge the batteries. Little caveat, though. You're going to go a place, but you got to take one teammate with you. What teammate are you choosing to go on vacation with you, and why?
I already said this guy, but Dakota Chalmers. Yeah, he's a lot of fun, for those who don't know.
Never a dull moment with Dakota, right? Okay, all right. Second question. One that I presented to a different player. You're going to find yourself out on the road. And let's say, in fact, let me go a little deeper. You're going to find yourself in Ann Arbor, Michigan, okay? Not a real great place for a Michigan State Spartan to be, okay? You're going to be in the wrong place, and someone's going to recognize you. They're going to say, oh, there's Aaron Mishoulam, not the Cleburne Railroader. There's Aaron Mishoulam, the Michigan State Spartan. It's going to be a little tough to get you out of the confines of that bar or that restaurant. So you're outmanned, you're outnumbered. You got one teammate in there to try to help you get out. Who you calling up? Ben Hampton.
I think Ben Hampton is a sleeper pick because he does MMA in the off season, and he likes to let you know about it too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's got some moves.
Okay, so Ben's going to throw someone in a chokehold, maybe an arm bar or something.
Something like that.
Give you a gap to run for the door.
Yeah.
Okay. All
exactly.
Right, good.
And I know he has my back.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
Okay, good. Man, that's an interesting one. Okay. Scenario number 3. Sports are over for you. And you're gonna start a family. And you're gonna want to look to one of your teammates for some advice on what it's like to be a father. Like, what are some things, some go-tos, some potential pitfalls that I need to avoid? You just want that advice, someone that can give you that fatherly advice. Who you turning to in the clubhouse for that?
I'd have to go with Brantley. I think
Brantley Bell?
he seems like a great dad and certainly has the experience. And yeah, I think he just seems like overall a good father, and like he would be able to help me in a situation like that.
Okay. You walk in the clubhouse and you're just having a crap day. You're just having a terrible day for whatever reason. And you're just looking for someone to turn it around for you. Someone that can provide you that laugh, that spark, maybe even, I don't know, someone to get you motivated, just something to get you out of the rut of the day that you've been in. Which teammate are you turning to?
Ryder
Yakel.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
For a puzzle? Is he coming at you with a puzzle? What are we getting from Ryder?
No, he's certainly, he's got my back no matter what. He's my locker mate, and he is checking on me quite a bit, and I'm trying to do the same for him. Yeah, we're pretty close, so
Okay.
no matter what, I know I could count on him for a laugh, and after the game, before the game, just he brings the smiles on my face a lot, so I appreciate that.
Okay, fair. Okay, two more. We're living in a fantasy world now, and Erin Mishoulam's got a twin sister, okay? And she wants a baseball boyfriend, okay? And she turns to her brother, says, "Hey, I want you to set me up with someone, someone in that clubhouse." Who are you setting your fantasy twin sister up with?
Maybe Baker. I think he's a good dude, and in that hypothetical scenario, if that were the case, he would treat her right. So Baker.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. All right, John Baker. All right. Final question here. You have the opportunity at the winning Powerball ticket. Okay. You've got 5 of the 6 numbers. 5 of the 6. You just need that 6th number to bring home the mega jackpot. And let's just say in a fantasy world, you're told that one of those guys in that clubhouse has that last number, okay? But they're all going to tell you that they do. They're all going to tell you that they do. So it just boils down to trust. Trusting that one person that's going to look you in the face and they're going to say, "Mish, I've got that last number." Who are you putting all your trust in with everything on the line?
Go with Malix.
Malix Smith.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys who's just going to shoot it straight with you and has good intentions. So
I love that answer.
Go with him.
I love that answer. Final question for you. Not now. We'll get back to the realistic world here. Just a little over 40 games to go for this team. I don't have to ask you the stupid question on what the ultimate goal is. Everybody in that clubhouse knows that it's a Miles Wolf Cup. Over this last month plus, from your perspective, what will it take for this team to get to the finish line?
I think the ultimate trust in just who we have from top to bottom, just not focusing too much on what's happened or what's to come, but, just that and some good baseball luck, because we've got the group. Like, kind of just need the ball to bounce our way.
You couldn't have said it any better. We appreciate everyone tuning in today to this edition of Rail Talk Mish. We appreciate your time. For those that watching along outside of Cleburne and the American Association, this man should have been an all-star. Shame on you. Shame on you for not making that happen. He's our all-star, and from my mind, he's our #1 starter. Mish, we appreciate the time.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Back next week, another edition of Rail Talk. Until then, be good. Go Raiders!